Hey guys, what's up? It's Lauren from the YouTube channel LaurDIY. So for this Halloween, I have an amazing craft for you guys. So we're gonna be making a really cool / kind of creepy spider bracelet. So for this craft, you're going to need some wire cutters, a crafty knife, scissors, hook and loop fastener, wire, and then I've got 3 tapes in white, black, and neon green. So I'm gonna start by taking my neon green tape and just pulling out a little more than 7 inches. I'm just gonna lay this down and just snip that off with my crafty knife. And then all we're gonna do is fold that right on top of itself. And this is gonna make the band of our bracelet. So you can use your fingers here to hold that bottom down and then just sandwich that right on top of itself. Press down in the middle and then work outwards to make sure there's no creases. So I'm just gonna go ahead and snip this little edge off to make sure it's a clean cut. And you have your band, so you just go ahead and set that aside now. So now with my black tape, I'm gonna pull out about 6 or 7 inches. And then cut an identical piece, the same size, so that we can just sandwich those right on top of each other to cut out our body. So one piece, sticky side up. I'm just gonna plop this one right on top here, lining up the edges as best as I can. And don't worry if it's not perfect, because we're just gonna cut the body right out of this, so you actually won't even need the edges to be perfect. So there we go, I've got a double-sided tape now, and then using my scissors, I'm just gonna freehand this and cut out a little Spidey. There we go, so now I have a body. It looks a little bit like a bowling pin, but this is gonna be perfect because he's gonna plop right on here. We just have to give him some legs and maybe a name. So if you think of a good name for my little Spidey friend, let me know in the comments down below. So now for the legs, I'm gonna take my black tape again, and this is where we're gonna be using our wire as well. So I'm gonna pull out about 7 inches of the black tape. 7. And then pull out one more. And you can leave those down to use that as a guide to measure out the wire that's gonna be sandwiched in between these 2 pieces. So we're gonna get 4 legs out of each piece here. So these 2 counting as one piece when they're sandwiched together. So just cut out 4 wires the exact same length. And don't forget, if you don't feel comfortable using your wire cutters, feel free to ask an adult for help. All right, so I'm gonna straighten these out as best as I can so that they'll lay as flat as possible on the tape. And just try and work out any of the little kinks just by bending it the opposite way that it's going. All right, so now taking one of my tapes, I'm gonna flip this so it's sticky side up. And now I'm gonna lay down all of my wires. There we go, so now I have all 4 wires laid out, and they're not perfect, they're not super spaced apart evenly, but as long as you have a little bit of space in between so that when we cut a line in between them, there's gonna be 1 wire in each little section. So now, using my other piece of tape, I'm just gonna sandwich those right in between, just like that. Press in the middle, and then work your ways outwards to get rid of any air bubbles and creases. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these into 4 long strips. And it's gonna be 4 legs on each side, obviously, as a spider's anatomy is. And these 4 long strips are actually gonna make all 8 legs. So now I have my 4 strips, and I'm gonna flip my Spidey over, and all we're gonna do is lay them across his body like so. And we're gonna attach these and then fold them so they look a little more leggy-like, because right now he looks kind of like a snowflake. A Halloween-themed snowflake, just like that. I'm gonna cut a little piece of tape just to plop right on top here to secure his legs down. So I just added a little point at the very top of this piece of tape so that when it lays down on top of his body, it's not gonna hang over the edges. So I'm gonna plop this down here and secure that down just like so. So if we flip him over now, he obviously doesn't really look like a spider. So we're gonna go ahead and just bend his legs now to pop him up a little bit so he can stand on his own. And then we're gonna bend this way to give him some little feeties. There we go. So we have our little Spidey friend now. The thing's a little bit scary looking. I'm not sure how I feel about how realistic it looks. So if you want, you can go ahead and maybe like point off his feet or use a different colored tape to add some white or maybe some patterns on his back. So I'm gonna go ahead and give him maybe a smile. Maybe that'll make him look less scary. So I'm gonna add 2 little eyes here. So now I've got 2 little squarish rectangles here for the eyes because circles can be a little bit difficult to cut out without the use of wax paper. So I'm gonna go ahead and plop these down on his head. And I definitely think he needs a mouth. He needs a smile for sure. This is a happy spider, not a scary spider. There we go, much better, much happier. He's very happy, it's Halloween, but he's a nice spider, not a mean spider. So now we're just gonna go ahead and attach this to our wristband here. So I'm just gonna use some more green tape and just make a little tape ball here that's gonna be sticky on both sides. So just loop that around your finger, just like that. And we can pop it on his tummy. And just line this up in the middle here. Give it a little squeeze. And now we have our wristband. And now for the final touch, we're just gonna add our hook and loop fastener. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fold this so that it's already gonna be lined up. Peel the backing off one side, pop it down here. And then you can go ahead and peel this off and attach that on the other side, and you are good to go. So here is my finished Spidey, and you can also do this in a bunch of different ways. So I have a few other finished ones here. This one's really, really cute, has little cute little gems on it and gems for eyes. And this one here actually has some glow-in-the-dark tape on it, which is awesome, and a thicker band. So lots of different ways to make this cute. You can even add it as a part of your Halloween costume or in your hair, whatever you want to do with it, get creative with it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up if you did, and let us know in the comments down below what you plan on being for Halloween. And I will see you guys in the next video. See ya!